Good morning, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Joanne Taranto.
And I'm Tom Matthews, and we are thrilled to have a guest with us today. This is the VP of Marketing at Gibson Sotheby's. We have Jenny with us. Welcome, Jenny.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Jenny.
Oh, we're thrilled. So today we're going to talk about email marketing and how agents can effectively use email marketing. And Jenny is going to give some tips, talk about some Gibson things that you can use, and also just overview of what works in email marketing. So Jenny, kick it off.
Thank you. Yeah. I will tell you, email marketing is still the unsung hero of all of the marketing tools that are available to you. At Gibson, it is provided for you by the company. You have the opportunity to reach out to your clients through that. We use ActivePipe, but it is so easy to reach your clients through email marketing. And I will tell you, we've had this conversation before, and you can chime in here, Tom, but it is the one thing when I talk to real estate agents that I get the largest pushback on. Agents will take out an ad in their local paper. They will pepper a community with postcards. They will do social media posts about what they're cooking for dinner. But my goodness, to put together an email campaign, and the feedback is always, I don't want to bother my clients. And I understand that and I respect that, but I would say it's no longer 1995. And we expect to get email marketing from people that we do business with, right? I'm not asking that our agents reach out to people daily via email, but every store that you walk into, every retail store, if you think about it, you go out shopping around the holidays and you're standing there to make a purchase, and what's the first thing that they ask you?
Your email.
Yeah.
Your email address. Yeah, because they want to market to you.
Right.
I will apologize, marketers. We have ruined every good thing that has ever come out because we find a way to get there. But email marketing is the one way that you can get into people's their pockets, literally on their phone, in their computers, the whole thing. So I do think that email marketing is a great opportunity to share your message. It's a great opportunity to have your name come up in front of your clients. Even if they don't read it, they're still going to see that there's an email coming from Tom and Joanne or from Jenny. And part of your marketing strategy, email marketing should be a huge part of it.
We've sent out the company e-newsletter every month on the month since 2011, and people look forward to it. They click on it, but like you said, they see Tom and Joanne, info at Tom and Joanne. They see the headline, and if they look at it, great, but it just creates that top of mind awareness. And I love Jack Trout wrote this book called Positioning, and he wrote it back in the 80s. He said we live in an over-communicated society. Now you fast forward almost 50 years, and like top of mind awareness is our job as agents, is that when a need arises, people think of us.
Right.
Email marketing is just one piece. And like you said, the ROI on it is massive. And what I love is that Gibson makes this beautiful template on the first of the month. It gets sent out. And that then all we can do is customize it to what works for us and send it out. It takes us 10 minutes max. And then we send out what looks like, I get compliments all the time, and Joanne does too. Who makes those beautiful emails? Do you do those yourself? And like, that's what we want to do.
Just nod and smile. Yes.
I said, no, all I focus on is helping families sell and buy houses. Everything else is handled by our team.
And I think consistency is key, right, Jenny? Yes. So like, what in your best practices, what do you feel is the frequency and the consistency that's needed to see some level of success?
So I think you should be reaching out to your sphere at least once a month with a touch. Ideally, I would probably do twice a month. I would actually probably hit them a couple times just in case they miss it. I think the point is, there's the rule of 7 in marketing, that somebody has to interact with your brand 7 times before they will make a move to do business with you. Okay. And so you have to think about all the different ways that they're interacting with you. So it might be they see you on social media, maybe they do see an ad if you have one, but email marketing is one of those touches. So it's an easy way to increase that touch by just sending an additional email out. I think if I'm looking at best practices, you should be thinking about the layout of your email. At Gibson, obviously, we take care of that for you. But things, a lot of times I will see, sometimes agents get very excited and they get into a program like Canva and they design everything to then be a JPEG that they drop it into the email. Well, if your email is image heavy and not a lot of text, it'll get flagged for spam.
Oh,
if your subject line is a little bit too salesy, a lot of times it'll get flagged for spam. So you want to make sure you're doing that, keeping an eye on that. And I would also say, whatever you're doing for your email marketing, you need to look at it on your phone. You need to send it to yourself and take a look at it. Because if you're not dropping the text into the body of the email, if it's just on the image, it may come through absolutely unreadable. And there's nothing worse than that, right? It's one thing if I get your email and I'm just not maybe interested in what's happening in your town that day, or the houses that you have, or whatever it is
Everything
you're
has to
sending
be
to me.
formatted mobile.
Right. Right. But if I get it and I can't read it, I'm probably not going to open the next one, right?
Right. What
And I'm annoyed by it.
Yes.
What a great tip though, to like send it to yourself. I would never really think about that, but that's like a really good like best practice tip if you're going to be off doing it on your own, if you're not going to use the marketing team, because obviously you guys test everything.
Yes.
That's a great tip. I also like the idea about, I didn't realize about images, too much images is spam, and in the subject, how important all those little pieces are.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, a lot of times the email programs are designed to not show images. So if your entire email is just images, Microsoft does it very frequently, not so much Gmail, but Microsoft absolutely does, where they won't show the images because they think it might be corrupt or spam or cyber fraud coming through. So they just truncate it. And so if your entire email is an image,
then there's nothing to see.
No, there's nothing to see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So think about those pieces when you're doing it, because it is a great platform done well.
Done well.
But what about content? Like, so having too much content, not enough content, what's the sweet spot?
So the sweet spot is actually delivering value to your clients, and it doesn't matter how much content, right? So since we're talking real estate, if you were to do it right, to really do marketing right, you would bucket your list. So you would have a list of buyers, you would have a list of sellers. Maybe your sellers would be historic home sellers in our market, or waterfront, right? You can really segment down. Maybe you have first-time home buyers, whatever it is, and drive different messages to those clients, because that's what they're looking for. Your first-time home buyers don't necessarily want what the historic home sellers are getting. So it's not necessarily about how much content, it's the right content.
Targeted content for the
targeted content.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is awesome, Jenny. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. This is awesome.
And
Hopefully, go ahead.
And I just so you're aware, the other thing is sometimes people get freaked out because open rates are low on email. The average industry rate is about 10% for open rates.
Okay.
That's normal for email marketing. At Gibson, we average between 30 and 50% open rates with our emails. So just FYI.
Awesome.
But don't be discouraged, because even if they don't open it, they've seen your name, and that's what we're going for.
Right. Well, these are great best practices for email. So thank you, Jenny, for sharing with everyone. And I want to thank everyone for watching another edition of Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Tom Matthews.
Thank you, Jenny. And I'm Joanne Taranto. We'll see you next time. Cheers.